This week, a luxury whiskey brand puts its weight behind social entrepreneurs. We'll look at the contentious issue of transformation in the local advertising industry and a brutally honest take on advertising from an international comedy icon.
I love advertising because I love lying.
Leading the brand communication debate, this is Mags on Media. All right, we start with this. The luxury whiskey brand Chivas Regal has launched an initiative called Win the Right Way. It's a global search, I'm told, for the most promising social entrepreneurs. Those with businesses or ideas that use enterprise and innovation as a force for good.
Money. What is it good for, if not for doing good? Some people only understood making it for themselves and those they know. But they've had their go. Now this is we. Being the change the world wants to see.
Design Indaba is the biggest creative platform in the Southern Hemisphere. And it's a wonderful, powerful agent to change.
This is chivalry. Living not as them and us, but we.
We just see that the best success is shared success.
Success means taking a whole lot of people along with you.
So improve the lives of others. Don't avoid their eyes, make them your brothers. Make your potential their potential. Make character an essential. Dare enough to let your actions say, this time, we win the right way.
So here's the question, why does a whiskey brand need to play in the space? Let's go to Cape Town. Mandla Holomisa is standing by to talk to us, brand manager for Chivas Regal. Mandla Holomisa, welcome to you. You're not the only whiskey brand that is playing in this leadership and inspirational space these days. Why do you need to be there?
It comes down from the basis of what Chivas Regal really stands for. And if you see, a communication line which we've used for the past 4 years has been to live with chivalry. Now, living with chivalry isn't necessarily about gallantry, pulling out chairs for ladies. Living with chivalry is actually about living with a balance of style and substance in life. I think Chivas Regal, having been one of the global iconic whiskies, the style element is something that we've always had. So now the substance of chivalry we've brought in with the Win the Right Way campaign. You know, in a world where a lot of brands are talking about aspiration, about where you can go, about where you can be, we've literally actually decided to put our money where our mouth is and talk to social entrepreneurs in a way that it galvanizes people to understand that there's a new way of doing business. And
all right, you certainly are putting your money where your mouth is. It's a big prize, I understand. We can talk about that in just a moment. But the campaign itself, or the initiative, how does it work? What are the mechanics?
Basically, the mechanic is that we've first and foremost launched a communication campaign which we'll see roll out on television, print, and obviously online and out of home as well. What we're doing is that we're having a call to action to people to register their business plans for social entrepreneurial enterprises. But what happens in this instance is that we vet all the business plans globally. We'll have local business analysts to actually have a look at these business plans. And then from then, we're going to break it down into possibly about a top 10 for South Africa. This will then lead to a South African final, where the winner gets funding of 50,000 US into his business. And with the nature of it being a global campaign, all the other winners across the globe, possibly a pot of about 20 guys, then gets to go to Silicon Valley, which is pretty much the hub of startups, tech startups, social startups as well, where we'll actually take them through a week of mentoring with companies such as Google in Silicon Valley. So there's a lot of sustainability in terms of building these social entrepreneurs, where then we actually have a global final, where there's a chance to win the pot of $1 million.
It seems to me that you're really working away from your Scottish heritage. If I look at going to Silicon Valley in California for an entrepreneur's training camp, it's quite interesting how a global brand like this has moved away from its original roots. Is that then the intention?
The original root of a Scotch and a Scottish whiskey is something that we'll always have, and it's something that we're proud of. I mean, I think people really want brands of substance. And if you talk to a lot of people, the heritage of the brands in which they consume mean a lot to them. That's why they justify how much you actually spend on products. So we'll never vehemently stray from that, because that's part of our DNA. But there's a need today to actually speak to people in the way in which they'll actually listen. We understand that Scottish provenance and the history of that isn't necessarily going to make us connect with people like myself and you.
Just in terms of the intention of this campaign, is this purely a brand building campaign, or will there be a direct link back to unit sales?
We aren't driving people to go and purchase a bottle of Chivas in order to submit their business plans. We've actually taken a step back and put the product behind, and most likely put the brand in front, so that people can communicate with us directly. A key element of this as well is that it could sound great in a boardroom, it could sound great as an idea, but we've literally put our pig in the sand and told ourselves this is a 5-year campaign. We're not only just going to have a social entrepreneur and give him the money of the pot and say, okay, bye. We're actually working with him in order to build the business, so that after 5 years, we've actually created a network of social entrepreneurs to ensure that we're consistently mentoring, consistently tapping into the relationships we have with the likes of Google and Silicon Valley. So let's make it sustainable and not really just make it about pretty billboards and print ads.
All right. Thank you very much for talking to us. In Cape Town, Mandla Holomisa, brand manager for Chivas Regal. Now, from social entrepreneurs to social commentary, as the Johannesburg radio station Power 98.7 takes to the streets with a new outdoor campaign. The campaign, called Power Lines, sees a series of billboards featuring provocative one-liners like clever blacks are problematic. It's been 20 years already, get over it. And some of my best friends are black. The campaign is designed to stir conversation and to complement the radio station's slogan, Now We're Talking. All right, you can let us know what you think of that idea, and also the Chivas Regal campaign. Coming up on Mags on Media, a close look at transformation, or the lack thereof, in the local advertising industry. It's an indictment on your industry that after so many years you haven't got this right.
I've got my own personal opinions about whether we've got it right or not.